We're live. Just checking my settings. Hope everybody's doing good. I'm doing good. I could not stream this morning. Whenever you have any kind of, this is how I do it. If I got important stuff that I need to do that I'm depending on somebody else to be on their A game, I schedule it in the morning. So I needed something done today. And they're like, we can do it in the morning or the afternoon. I'm like, I got AMA in the morning. All right, just go ahead and do it. So, because it's one of those things where they're going to be working in my mouth. I'm like, I want them to be well rested and doing a great job. Because most accidents, if you didn't know this, most accidents, like any kind of accidents, almost all of them happen in the afternoon when we're not at our peak. So I schedule all the important stuff for me in the mornings. So sorry, guys, I was not on time this morning, but hey, this is all volunteer, right? So, and I know you guys probably don't care. I hope. If you do, you can let me know in the comments. Just don't beat me up too bad. All right, dude. Onyahazia Prosper. Great to see you here. If I seen you? Onyahazia. I'm going to call you Onyahazia Prosper. I like your last name there. It's good to have you in here. Guys, we got a little pumpy today. Let's have a look at it. Talk about it. A little pumpy. We like that. I mean, is it just the greatest currencies, or no, it's across the board? I mean, look, Bitcoin is back up to 82,000. It's up. When Bitcoin is up 8%, you know something's happening. Bitcoin up 8%, guys. Look at good. I haven't even. That's a 4-hour candle, guys. Hallelujah. Good night in the morning. It's up 8%. Let's be kind of real here, but that's a really good sized daily candle, which we haven't seen since the 2nd of March. Like a little more than a month. That's beautiful. And Ethereum, I'm gonna be honest, guys. I have been really bearish on Ethereum. I probably still am. I'm like, Ethereum, get your act together. We're depending on you, sort of. Like, are you gonna move? Well, Bitcoin moved 8%, Ethereum moved 10%, Pulse 6%. And you'd think Pulse would be a little bit more than 10%. Maybe it's going to take a little longer to catch up. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna be really plain in where I am, where my head is on where we are in this market. I think, and this is just my opinion, and I get my opinion from a lot of sources. So I'm not a TA guy. I don't read the Wall Street Journal. It's just I'm just kind of a conglomerate of the people I hang around. So let me see if I can eke this out. I think that we're waiting on this global money supply. I don't know if you guys have watched Colin Talks Crypto. Some of his videos are very good, very detailed. He's a Bitcoin guy, and he really breaks down how the what's it called? The global, somebody put it in the chat if you can think of it. The global money supply. Good job, Onyahazia. Glad you got some UFO tokens. That's awesome. And so we got the global money supply. And if you offset, he's found out that if you got to offset, set it by a certain number of days, lay it over the crypto market, and then you can see when the crypto market could perhaps respond to that global money supply going up. And I should have it in front of me to show you guys. But long story short, we should start seeing an inflow into the crypto markets by the end of April, somewhere in there. Okay. So that's thing one. Thing two is, have you noticed Richard Hart has been more active like all year? Okay. He thinned liquidity on Inc. a few different times. He nuked PDI, and he opened up his Twitter comments. I don't know if they're open today. I haven't checked any of his messages. I imagine that they are. Maybe you can let me know in the chat. And I think that he is thinning out the herd, shaking out some of the most diehard pulsicans, hexicans, so that they, hey, Romeo, because they're not the true believers that are going to follow, our H into the fray. Okay. And we are in the fray right now. We got to follow him through the fray, actually. So I think he's shaking out some of those people, and they are being shaken out. That's what I think is happening. And then once those people are thinned out, and it has been happening for like a few years, has it not? Okay. So maybe this is one of the final shaking outs, and then we can start going up from here. I think that Richard Hart is the founder of the PulseChain, and it's his network that the Grace currencies are riding on, and he's the founder of Hex. Hex was first deployed on Ethereum in December 2019, did a 10,000x. It was his one token on Ethereum, a different blockchain. He forked Ethereum. So now he has his own chain, and another version of Hex, a forked copy from Ethereum. In addition to that, he has both Hexes, and he has Pulse, the layer 1, Pulse X, the decentralized exchange, and Ink. Is that it? The 5? I don't think there are any others. So he has his own layer 1 that he can. Okay, he did a 10,000x with Hex on Ethereum. Now he has his whole chain and several different tokens, that have different functions. And he has 6 years of additional experience in the trenches. You think you might know what he's doing? I do. And this also hit me this week. He has a circle of friends that you and I are probably not in, that are depending on him, and he loves his friends. I think Richard Hart would give the shirt off his back for his friends. I think he can be a little rough on the outside, but a lot of those guys got a tender heart on the inside. And he has a lot of buddies. He ain't a loner. He might like to be alone like many guys, but he has some friends, and he wants to see them become successful. If they become successful, we will become successful, because they're invested in the same asset that we are, PulseChain, and anything on PulseChain. So I'm very bullish on the Pulse network. It has been rough. Dude, PulseChain just had an all-time low. Like, when was it? Was it last week? All-time low. There you go, guys. On the 31st of March. All-time low. Yes. I mean, guys, it can only get better from here. No, it could get worse. I've seen it get worse. I've seen it get better, and I get all enthusiastic, and then it gets worse. But who knows? I'm kind of depending on this global money supply thing. Let me check my messages real quick, because sometimes people will be messaging me, and they could be telling me that I need a haircut or something. If you guys have any questions for me, anything you want me to go over, let me know in the chat, in the comments. Yes, I need to. How do I do this? I need to update that thing right there. That's funny. That is funny. I tried to, but I don't have it in a GIF format. If you didn't know, we got new logos. The Grace currencies had new logos. So the UFO one looked a little different, not much, but the pTGC one looks very different, and it's looking good. Hello, Adi. Good to have you here today. Appreciate you guys being here. Even if you hear the same thing every time, I appreciate you guys being here. Some of you guys say the same thing every time, and it just makes you dependable. And dependability is one of the greatest abilities. So thank you for being here on top, on time, anytime, and being dependable. All right. What shall we go over, guys? Shall we? Let's do this. Let's do this. There is our layer 1, WPLS. Let's go over to pTGC. And what's shaking over here? Green candles. We like that. And we're up, let's see. In the last 24 hours, we're up 5%. Guys, do you know how much pTGC would move in a year if it did 5% move every day? That would be a lot of X's. Let's see how we're doing on versus WPLS. I think we're moving up. Yeah. I've been watching this now. I'm always watching this number right over here. This is the number of, this is the amount of pulse you need to have to buy pTGC. 13. We're up to 13. We have been as high as 22. When were we at our all-time high? It was the 18th of February. So a month and a half. We've been down for 45 days. So, and our all-time high before that was 23rd of January. So from the 23rd of January, we're running up until the 18th of February. So about a month. And then we've been trending down for about, what, another month and a half, something like that. I'm not doing math very well on stream, and that's normal. But it looks to me like we are recovering. I mean, look, from the bottom of that candle to where we are now, we're up 43%. And from the top, to the bottom, I think we were down 80%. Yeah, if you go to the very bottom, I think we're about 80%, something like that, real close. So we are trending up. And we're trending up against the layer 1. We're at 13. How's UFO doing? Anyehasia got his UFO tokens for the future. I like, Anya, that you say for the future, because that to me tells me that you are intending to hodl those tokens. And I think that's going to be the best way to hold either of these tokens, is to have a long-term mindset. And you're going to realize the most gains by holding long-term. So let's see how UFO is doing. New logo. Did you guys notice that? Okay, let's go back to pTGC. Here is the new logo, guys. That's it. Is that not very attractive? Okay, I like it. I really do. And then UFO, how is it doing? Well, we got a green candle day. We're up 6% for the day. How are we doing against Pulse? Well, we're down a little bit. UFO, guys, has been struggling a little bit. You know, I'm looking at both of these tokens daily, and I'm very optimistic on UFO, even in a sense that, here's why. pTGC is more of its transactions are more user. This is from what I gather from some of the guys in our group. pTGC the volume is more user based. It's user initiated. The volume on UFO, on the other hand, tends to be bots evening out the pools. So speaking of volume, let's have a look at volume. I want to see, you can go to secretobank.com to see this for yourself. Let's have a little looky-loo at the pTGC. I'm going to pull these up and then I'll share my screen. And then UFO. I just reset my, cleared my cache and all that stuff. So I got to pull these up again. I hope you guys have been liking the videos that I've been making and putting up on YouTube. I got more ideas for more videos. And so I'll be creating some more content. That's my intention Ooh, our liquidity in pTGC and WPLS has increased. Check this out, guys. We're up to $1.2 million in liquidity in PLS. PLSX, 637,000. And let's I like to sort these by quantity. pTGC and UFO liquidity, they're the most thickly bonded is the two main tickers. And then followed by WPLS, PLSX, HEX. Oh, that I love that order. I just love it. I mean, if you want to be bonded with, the best assets on the chain, pTGC and UFO, we'll start there. pTGC and WPLS as a second, then PLSX as a third. And then a hex. Oh yeah, man, I'm liking that. And then most down here, we got a dive. We still have a dive, LP pool, most, ink, teddy bear, Atropa. Yeah, we got some. So our total liquidity is $4.5 million. And if you scroll down a little further, guys, I don't know if you know this, and this is a site by Snowflake Society, by the way, guys. He built this. And if you go down here, you can hover over these and you can see the volume for, certain, you can just scroll over and see the volume on certain days. It's pretty sweet. And the volume today, in the last 24 hours, as of this moment, is $350,000. Now let's go have a look at UFO. Sort these by, there's that nice big pTGC of UFO pair. And, this is interesting. UFO's largest LP after pTGC is PulseX at $1 million, followed by WPLS at $887,000, and then HEX, then Inc, EHEX, most. $184,000 LP with most. How did we get that? I like the volume. It's got $5,000 in volume. But somebody put up that LP. I wonder who it was. I honestly do not know. If anybody knows, let me know, because I want to be in the know. No, that's good. And how much do we have in volume? 148,000. I'm not super happy with that. Can I just be plain and just say it like that? I'm not super happy with that. Don't say I'm being bearish, because I'm not. I'm like, I want more. I've seen it do more. I mean, look at this. March 22nd, $2.1 million. Yeah, man. And today it's just a little slow. Look, yesterday was $74,000. So we're a double. We are a double from yesterday. So by and large, all in all, we're looking good. We're looking good, guys. I mean, look, let's have it. Now I got to record a video. I recorded a video. Good evening, TS Pedro. I recorded a video yesterday, but I wanted to interweave a segment of, it was from Spaces last Saturday when Zen was talking about the volume versus price and that thing. People actually eloquent for a few minutes, and I interweaved it into my video that I was recording, but it didn't get the audio. And by the time I was done for the day, and I was like, I'll pick it up tomorrow, which is today. So hopefully I can get that done today. It's 2:00. Okay. Get that done. And get it uploaded. Then you guys can see this monthly data, but I'll just cover this one thing. Look at this. Let me find it. And I promise you, I don't want to be that guy that goes all the time. That's just so corny. Silence is better. Okay. You're gonna have to see the video when I create it. I'll put the segment of him talking in there, and he will explain it much better. But I just want to show you guys where we are today for volume on pTGC. Look, in July, when I started recording this, the volume was $27,000. August, $30,000. I mean, that's average per day. And today is what? 500,000. The average for March was 425. The highest day the highest day average ever was in February, $771,000. And if I remember correctly, the correlation that Zen was making was between higher price, higher volume. Where do we think this thing is going in price? Good evening, Revo. So might that mean for volume? Yeah. Yeah, we hope. Let's go look at UFO. Let's add UFO to the stage. UFO. Where's my volume for UFO? I like that average per day. In July, 36,000. August, 25,000. 370,000. And here I am complaining about 150,000. Today, average volume, 150,000. And yeah, that's right. Up and to the right, baby. So what we're seeing is a correlation between increase in price, increase in volume. So I think we need to get our space suits on and our space helmets on, sealed, because we're going to Mars. If you believe in space, we're going to Mars. I mean, seems that way. I'm a moon boy, guys. I get overexcited, so you got to tone me down. But I would rather live in. I like reality. I like just give me the facts. Just give me the facts, and I'll twist them in my own little hyped up thing and just enjoy life. That's kind of how I am. SEC approves options trading on spot Ethereum ETFs. Was that recent? Did that just come out? Approves options trading on spot Ethereum ETFs. That's probably relative recent news. That's cool. That sounds good. There's been so much good news come out, guys. So much. The SEC is getting thumped left and right when it comes to crypto. Their hands are going to be behind their back like this, man. They're going to be able to touch crypto by the end of this term. It's wonderful. It's just great. Well, let's have a look at, man, what else is there to look at? No, there's always stuff to look at. Let's see where we are on crypto bubbles. Are we doing anything? Yes, we are. We are in the green today. We're number 318. Check it out, boys. Number 318. Oops, I got to be on this screen. Hot dog. See you in the morning. Where are we? pTGC. Number 318. Come on, pull it up, big boy. Up 4.2% for the day. Market cap of $88,370,000 in volume. Where is it on here? I figured it would highlight the one that you input in there, but I guess it doesn't. Yeah, it should. It's on here somewhere. I'm just overlooking it. And where's UFO? Number 816. We got some work to do, guys. We got some work to do in UFO, but we'll get there. We will. And the bots are going to help us. The bots are working for us 24/7, 365. Okay. That's the beautiful thing about the Grays currencies is those arbitrage bots are buying and selling this asset, are being, balancing the pairs across the network all day long. It doesn't even require users to buy and sell UFO or pTGC to make a pair go out of whack. Like you can have a pTGC hex pair, and then you've got a hex, WPLS pair. If that one goes out of whack, our bots have to go balance that one and the hex pTGC pair. So they gotta buy and sell pTGC back and forth, paying the fee, which pays our holders. It pays holders rewards, and the stakers, it pays the staking rewards. 2% goes to the Dow, 0.5% buys pTGC and burns it on the burn address, and 0.5% just does a real quiet, modest 0.5% LP with PLS and sends those PLP tokens to the burn address, raising the price floor. It goes on and on and on, day after day after day. Does it get any better than that? We literally don't need users. We just want them. Why? Because the price goes up faster, and we want to bring good people into the ecosystem. We want good people like Romy and Adi and TS Pedro and Revo. We want these good people to come in and have a good time with us. And then maybe one day, the Dow will decide to buy a golf course. We can all go golfing. Wouldn't that be fun? No, we have a long way to go before we do that. So let's get into the DApp. I'm having too much fun. I think it's the green candles. Let's get into the DApp, shall we? Yes, we shall. Guys, I have reverted back to Rabby. I have gone through internet money, which didn't show my stakes or my locks. I went through OKX, same thing. Didn't show my stakes and my locks. There was another one, SafePal, which I kind of got into, but I didn't even get so far. And finally, I just realized that I could do everything with Rabby still, for some weird thing. I even transacted a little bit this morning. Yeah, and I did on Sunday. I recycled my yield, and it worked. It was just fine. So I think there was just a little bit of I think all of us were just a little bit whining about the loss of Rabby and D-Bank. Now, D-Bank, I am hurting a little bit over because I don't have that. I don't have D-Bank. But a tool that we have for the Grays specific is look into pTGC. And I found that to be a fabulous tool for finding, supply burnt, which I was getting on D-Bank and that sort of stuff. But all right, enough rambling. I am going to need a drink and some water. So give me a second. All right, guys. I imagine that most everybody in here holds pTGC or UFO, but I want to run over the DApp for anybody that may not. Okay, let's do this. Put a 1 in the chat if you're brand new. Put a 1 in the chat if you're brand new to the Grays ecosystem. And, we're going to have adoption, guys. People are going to be, and if you're new, please put a 1 in the chat. I want to know if you're new in here. And you don't need any smart Alex in here, okay? TS Pedro, Revo, Adi, you don't need dare put a 1 in the chat. We are anticipating new people coming into our eco. That's why Prairie Banana and Zen are doing presentations like a couple times a week. We're getting ready for adoption. Romeo Fantastical. I said a 1, Romeo. You smarty pants. So we're getting ready for adoption. We're getting ready for other smart Alex like Romeo there. No, I'm just kidding. Totally kidding with you guys. I'm just having fun. And we want to be on our A game. We want to have resources for people to lean on when they come in and they're like, how do I stake? How do I LP my UFO? And so, I'm making some videos finally about how to do that. Oh, guys, if you guys want a good video, okay, it's not good. It's a decent video about staking and locking. And I also made one about how to increase your UFO shares for the cost of gas. In certain instances, you can do that. Go to my channel. I need to organize those videos and put them into a playlist, but they are there. They are not live streams. Just go look for videos. They're like my latest 3 videos, and they're like 10, 20 minutes at the most. And I think there's some valuable information in there. And I have a lot of ideas for videos too that we need to publish. But this space, this forum is for helping people get acclimated, like Romeo. It claims to. I better quit before I get in trouble. When are you guys going to come walking in my door? That would be funny. Because how would you guys ever find me? No. All right, let's. I just probably to my detriment. This is the site you're going to go to. This is the D app, the decentralized application, PulseTGC.com. Go here and connect your wallet. And when you connect your wallet, you can do things with your pTGC and your UFO. Okay, let me back up. If you haven't bought yet, you're going to need to go to PulseX. That's the DEX that you should use to swap from PLS to pTGC or PLS to UFO. Set your slippage to 6% for pTGC, 7% for UFO. Use the auto router. What else? I think that's about it. And then you'll have your tokens. Once you have your tokens in your wallet, then you can do things with them. You don't have to do anything with these tokens and there's a lot of people that don't. They just let them sit there, and they earn reflections on each of them. Now, I would contend that if you hold both of those tokens, I would contend that staking and perhaps locking could be some avenues for additional yield, APY. But in UFO, I don't know this. I could as strongly make the contention that you could LP, unless you wanted to get those early on share rates. And I just did a video on that explaining the share rates. So you guys have to watch that video to see how valuable they become. And I'm gonna have to do another video on the share rates to show how valuable they can become in the future. But the APY for just holding UFO is very good compared to LP'ing. It's like a 4 to 5x. I've got the data. We have the data. It's pretty shocking just for holding UFO. But I like locking my tokens up because then when they're locked up, it's like I can't touch them. So I've got mine LP'd. Most of my UFO is LP'd, but I've got a lot liquid because it is earning very juicy rewards. And my pTGC, I'm doing everything I can with it. It's staked. It's locked. I'm going to show you guys about that. So this is the DApp. And let me make sure I have, excuse me, I have my wallet connected. And this is the wallet that I have. I'm going to ignore this. All this is global data up here. Okay. So we're just going to scroll past that. And by the way, sorry, we are on the staking tab. See that? So you connect your wallet here, go to the staking tab if you're looking to do something with your pTGC. And then let's scroll past this global data. And now we're going to be looking at everything that's in this wallet. So this wallet has earned 54,606 total TTC. It has earned from holding, that's reflections, 18,081. Earned from staking, 26,159. Earned from locking, 10,364. Total held is 1,002,220. Total staked is an even 1 million. Total locked, even 1 million. And the last staking time was February 10th. So this is a stake that I did a year ago on February that I harvested all the yield and I redid it. I restaked it in February because we're going to get another year's worth of data on it. So that has been very valuable and useful. So if you hold pTGC in your wallet and it's not staked, any liquid pTGC that you see that you have in your wallet, you can see if you click on this button right here. And right now, this wallet has 2,220 pTGC. that are not staked, and I'm not doing anything with it because I don't want to mess up the experiment. So, and if you want to do it, if you want to stake it, then you can select however much. I always do 100%. That's what I do. Or if you want, you can select anything you want up to that in total. Okay. And then you can stake it. Then who knows how long it takes for you to get to ROI on your 1%. We don't know. We suppose that it is a short duration of time, depending on volume and price appreciation of the token. So if you want to withdraw from your stake, beware that you will pay a 1% fee, which goes to all the other stakers, but you may withdraw. And then you can withdraw as much as you want. And I can't withdraw any because it's all locked down here. But if I ended this lock I would be ending it early, so I'd pay a 30% fee. But let's see, if I ended this, if it was mature, I would have 1,02,886 that I could withdraw. No, this actually is not staked. This 2,886 is just rewards. It's not staked. This is the amount staked, 1 million. So if once this matures, if I unlock it, it'll be no longer a lock, and then I can unstake it by clicking the withdraw, and then it'll be right here. And I can unstake as much as I want, which is really cool. Because like, let's say I want to just unstake 10% of my bag and leave the rest in there. I can do that with this system. It's really sweet. I can claim my rewards at any time. The staking and the locking rewards sit in the contract. Reflections come straight to your wallet, so they begin immediately earning more reflections. But your staking and your locking rewards need to be claimed so that they go from the contract to your wallet and start earning reflections again. And once they're in your wallet, you can add to your stake, or you can make another lock, or you could do both. Obviously, you could stake and then lock it. I try not to do too many stakes. You might look at my staking ladder and think otherwise, but I like to do like a certain amount because I don't want to have a bucket ton of locks. You can have only one stake, and you can add to it. You can take the yield, you can take it home if you want to, or you can make new locks with it. We have a lot of liberty and flexibility in the Graze ecosystem with our staking and our locking. The one liberty we don't have is the ability to send these stakes and locks to other wallets. That would be really cool, but it is what it is. We just can't do that right now. Is everybody still here? So quiet in the chat. Is anybody paying attention? Class is in session. No, I have not yet covered. So we covered how to claim. If you claim, these tokens here will go to your wallet, and then you can stake them if you want. If you withdraw, that's like ending a stake, and you're going to pay 1% that goes to all the other stakers. And then let's say you do have your bag of pTGC, and you're like, okay, I want to stake this stuff because not everybody is staked. Hey, Shaka. And therefore the stakers are earning more APY than the holders. That's because they've got that 1% fee that they got to pay when they end their stake. So, but you have to be staked in order to lock. So all your staked, if you have staked tokens, then you can lock them. And in order to lock, you click right here and put in however much pTGC you want to lock. And I can't lock any right now because all of mine is already locked. I don't have any that is not staked and not locked, or however you want to put that. I cannot lock any to show you guys how to do it. But so basically there are three things, three ways to earn on this page. Just holding your tokens right here, your total held, and then you can stake, and then you can lock. And each one of those comes with its own APY. Now, I want to talk to you about, well, first let's cover this. If you make a lock, however much pTGC you want to lock, select your time period. It can be all the way up to 3,650, which I wouldn't do. I wouldn't do 3,650. I would go 9 years, 9 times 365 plus 1, which is 3,286. I would lock for, if I was going to do the aggressive lock where I take home all, 100% of the penalties, I would lock for 3,286 days. Don't take my word for it, guys. Do your own math on that. The trick there is that if you lock one day into the next locking tier, you're going to earn from that tier. So the minimum that you can lock is 90 days. 90 days. And you earn 55%. Your rewards, when you claim rewards in a 90-day lock, you take 55% when you claim, and 45% goes to the burn address, which is really cool because you reduce the supply. Every time you claim on a 90-day lock, or any lock that's not a 100% lock, you are reducing the total supply, increasing your position and everyone else's. So a 90-day lock is 55%. 1 year lock is 60%. So your lock is going to be 65%. All the way up to 9 years is 95%. 10 years, 100%. I think I got that right. So, and I don't recommend doing it. I mean, you guys got to do whatever you want to do, but this is how I'll tell you how I've done it. I have a lot of 10-year locks, but I broke them up into small bags. Like, I'm like, okay, I have this amount here, and I broke it up into 5 different bags, because that way, if I'm ever tempted, if I needed to, nuke a bag, I'm paying a 30% penalty on this bag and not the whole thing. Does that make sense? Okay, it probably does. You're like minimizing your downside risk. But because you are going to pay 30% to all the other lockers if you early unlock. So I'll tell you how I did it. I have 88% in the 10-year locks. Yeah, I went heavy. I went big. I'm like, go big or go home. 8% in a ladder. So every year I have a bag or 2 that's going to be mature that I can do whatever I want with, or I can just let it sit there. The locks, you can just let them sit there and they continue to earn reflections and staking and locking rewards. No harm, no foul. And then 4% I put in at 90-day locks, which are, because I have multiple wallets, which are now mature. And they've got a name on them. Shaka, I like to go 9 years and 7 days. Leap year 4 years, just to be on the safe side. Contracts math. That's a fair point, Shaka. You got that leap year. I don't think the leap year is factored in, but I'm going to be so wrecked at year 9 if I'm only earning 95%. Oh, because at year 9, you know what this token could be worth. So I guess we'll find out in 8 years and 9 months. We will find out. And Shaka, if you're still around, you can ask me. And we can revisit this conversation 9 years from now. But that's very true. 9 years is 7 days. I mean, what's 7 days? Come on, guys. Do it on the safe side. That's good advice. Go 9 years and 10 days. So 365 times 9 plus 10. You can wait 10 days. Are there any questions about locking, staking, reflections? That's what we're here for, guys. I'm sure I missed something about locking. Oh, yeah, let's go ahead and cover that now. There's a big difference between reflections and staking and locking rewards. Okay, I look at these two as reflections and staking as different than this one. Okay, reflections and staking come to your wallets based on the price of the token today. So when that contract executes, it's buying and distributing, when it executes for, let me back up. Reflections and staking they're wonderful because it's the contract. You're not depending on a person to execute the contract. It happens automatically. The locking penalty rewards, you are depending on a person. But the reflections and staking reward are executed based on the price of the token today. So whatever the price is, that's the number of tokens that you're going to get. If somebody executes on a $1,000 buy, then $50 of that gets distributed in rewards to the DAO and all that stuff. So only less than $50 worth of tokens are going to be distributed to the holders and stakers. But the locking rewards are different. They're not distributed based on how much a contract can buy for a certain dollar amount of the tokens. They're distributed based on token quantity. So, for example, if somebody locks up 1 billion tokens, 6 months ago, they lock up 1 billion tokens regardless of the price. And then the price goes and does a 10x. And now those tokens are worth 10 times more. He emergency end locks and sends those 10x tokens to all the other lockers. It could be 100x tokens or 1,000x tokens. We do not know where this thing is going. So do you kind of follow me on that? Recap. Reflections and staking rewards are based on the price of the tokens today. They come to your wallet on whatever the contract can buy for the dollar today, and it's machine dependent. Locking rewards are human dependent, and they come to you based on token quantity. There's a huge difference. Huge, as we're going to see. Okay. Let's go look at UFO. And then we'll get into some moon math. I've been going for 48 minutes. I hope there's value in this, guys. I really want this to be a valuable, interaction. And if you got questions, pop them in. Drop them in. Let's go to, let's see, do we need to cover any stats? I don't think we need to cover any stats. Yeah, I'm hoping to have a good little library of instructional videos for everybody when they come in. We'll drop them in the Telegram chat. How do I do staking? Bam, drop the video, that sort of thing. What about this locking thing? Here, watch this 20-minute breakdown. Pretty much everything you need to know about locking. Yeah, man. That's what I'm after. That's what I want. Just to make it easier for everybody. Because when we all got into Hex, assuming many of us did, there was a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn. There's a lot to learn in the Grace currencies too. You can just about go as deep as you want. Okay, let's say you hold some UFO. Because here's the thing, guys. I got to show you guys this. We got to do this, guys. All right, let me update something here. Give me a second. Oh, come on. We're going to look at buying a position. Let me update some prices, and I want to see. We demonstrated this the other day. The difference that you can get UFO versus pTGC for dollar for dollar. Okay, let me update these prices. UFO is 401642. 1642. Now the other day was 5.18. You can get 5.18 times more UFO than pTGC. And pTGC is 3 zeros, 29.34. We were much higher just a few minutes ago. 3 zeros, 29.21. 29.21. Ooh. What did I say? It was 5.2? It's 5.6 now. Let me show you. You can get 5.6 times more supply of UFO now than you can of pTGC. That's a beautiful thing, guys. I mean, if you're one of those people that's into buying positions, like I sort of am, I am, then that should interest you. You can get 5.6 times more UFO now, dollar for dollar, than you can pTGC. UFO is pTGC's brother. They're like twin brothers born 6 months apart. Okay? Do not underestimate the power of the UFO token. There are whispers of it perhaps doing very well. So you can get 5 times, almost 6 times more of the supply of UFO than pTGC. But if you don't know which one to get, and you got some money, you're burning a hole in your pocket, and you're like, I got to get in these grays. Get both of them. And that way when you're in the Telegram, and you guys should be in the Telegram, Tita, what is that Telegram? Let me get this in here. T.me/ the Grays currency. The link is in the description, or in the it's in the description too, but it's also in the chat. Jump in there and ask any questions, and fact check me. You know, don't just take my word for everything. Fact check my stuff. But jump in the Telegram and ask any questions. And then, yeah, you can get 5.6 times more UFO than pTGC. It's like, you'd kind of think they'd be at parity of some sorts. But if you don't know what you get both of them if you can. That's what I would do. Or allocate a ratio, to both of them, a portion to each of them. But where I was going with that is, then when you're in Telegram or you're on Twitter and people are talking about the Grays currencies, it's always kind of a bummer when you don't hold one of them that everybody's talking about. Because then you can't relate, So I'm a big fan of holding everything you can in every ecosystem. No, I jest a little bit. That was a very, very exaggerated statement. No, but for the Grays, there are literally only 2 tokens in this ecosystem. Got $100? Maybe get both of them. Just sit on it, man. Let them sit in your wallet. Let's go talk about UFO. Okay, so you got yourself some UFO and you want to LP it because you've got some Hex, Ink, Pulse, PulseX, you name it, in your wallet, and you're like, these tokens are great too, but I can really put them to work for me in the Grays ecosystem and get in on this early share rate that Prairie Banana's been talking about. Yeah, I'm ready to do that. And you go to the same DApp, PulseTGC.com, click on UFO token right here, click on UFO liquidity pools, and let's say you have UFO. Let's say you have some Pulse. You've got your UFO now, and you have some Pulse. You're going to click on here and click add liquidity. Add liquidity. And then you're going to have equal portions of each UFO and Pulse. And then just select add liquidity. And then you're going to transact in your wallet, and boom, you'll have a pool. But after that, you will want to go and look at it. So you go back to UFO token, UFO PLP rewards. And then you come down here and you will see your UFO PLS pool. And this pool, I have never taken any of the yield. It only has 48,400 bulls in it, but it's only a million UFO. Okay. So, let's see. It's got 48,402 PLS because the reward token for LP'ing UFO with any other ticker is PLS, at least on this DApp. You gotta LP on this DApp. And I would not LP UFO and pTGC because you're gonna pay the tax for both of them. And that would be a bad deal. And then if you're holding any UFO in your wallet, it's going to be reflected up here. And this wallet has earned 40 million UFO, 40,000 UFO. All right, there's an important thing to note down here is the UFO shares. See that? That's a million UFO. Okay, and the UFO shares is based on how many UFO you put into the system, into the LP. So if you put a million UFO in, you're going to have a million UFO shares. You can't stop looking at the new logos. I know they're awesome. I really wish I had the spinning logo for up there, but I got to get it in a GIF. Shaka. So, yeah, I'm like, this is a really nice upgrade. So the thing about UFO shares is that I did the calculator. I don't know if have you seen that video, Shaka? You should go look at it and you can give me your feedback on it too. It's on my channel about how you can increase your UFO shares for the cost of gas, basically. But long story short is I built this little calculator for you guys and demonstrated that this little LP that I showed you guys that has a million UFO shares in it, if somebody wanted to, in order to get to buy a million UFO and pair it with another asset today versus when I initially did it, when this pair was created, it would cost 2.6 times more. Yeah. So if I broke that LP, and wanted to like reinstate it, I would have to buy back more UFO, and I'd have to buy back, I think I have to buy more of the other pair too. I forget, but anyhow, it would be more expensive. So the UFO shares become more valuable as time goes on. And another reason they become more valuable is because people are exiting their share, exiting their LPs. So I don't know exactly how all that works, but I just know that like the ones that I made and the ones that if I were making UFO pairs right now, I'd be hanging on to them suckers. There's no point in from my perspective, there's no point in nuking those things to make a quick buck. They're like cash flowing machines. And I think as we go into this cycle, the people that have made UFO LPs could perhaps maybe stand to do very well. I think that I think the UFO is going to crush it. That's my expectation. Why does the Polygon ask, why does the pTGC UFO pair exist if it's recommended to not LP them? That's a good question. It's a fabulous question. Thank you for questioning the obvious. Why does it exist if it's recommended to not LP them? You are challenging me. Okay, first I want to bring this up. While I'm thinking, I can click and think. So we do have the UFO pTGC pair here. It is an option. I don't think it's a very good option. Let me go back here and click on, okay, this is the only pair that has a little note. Token fees apply to this pair. Okay, so as long as you read that and comprehend it when you're going to engage with this contract, then you're getting into something, you know what you're getting into, right? Which doesn't answer your question, Polygon. I get that. And there are people that have a UFO pTGC LP because this thing did not exist in the beginning, and people entered it, and they're just going to keep it because to exit they would pay the fee to exit, and so they're just going to. The people that I know that have done it are just going to keep their LP, and it'll just be a cash flowing machine for them for the duration of this ecosystem. But why does it exist? That's a great question. That's a question that I'm going to ask on Spaces. So bear with me, guys. Yeah, man. Thank you for asking that question, Polygon. Ask the tough questions like Polygon just did. It's not even a tough one. Sort of. All right. Anything else? Ask your questions. Got like maybe 30 minutes tops. We're gonna be less than 30 minutes on this one today. I can tell already. Let's see. Let me scan my notes. Just kind of want to make sure I'm covering everything because I know what we're doing next. If we don't, there's not anything. Yeah, I think we're about there, man. All right, you guys ready for some moon math? Let me see. Okay, first I want to show you this, and I've always been starting over here on this Pampy.app. I really think that I really hope we're going to be in for a surprise on this network. I really do. But I mean, this is kind of the thing. You kind of want to set your expectations low, and I have an ability to do that in my head. Quick second. One thing that you want to bear in mind is, like I was telling somebody this yesterday, I like to bring things down to like the worst they can get and then bring it up from there, because everything up from there is just, it's all wonderful, right? So say you own a house and then you're like, oh man, the worst that could happen is I could lose my house. Is it? Is that the worst that could happen? Because there's a house on every corner, and renting ain't that bad. I am renting right now. Guess what? The faucet leaks in my bathroom. Not my problem. The door broke earlier this week. Not my problem. Well, it was an inconvenience for me, but I didn't have to pay for it. I tried to fix it, but be a good tenant and all that stuff. But hey, there are perks to being a tenant. Yeah, like not my problem. And it doesn't mean I'm not trying to be a good tenant and fix stuff and all that. But let's say I lose my house. You go rent somewhere, or you go buy another one. There's houses on every corner, So I try to, and then like a friend of mine and he's a friend in crypto, and we were talking yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. And he's like, man, I went and I visited my cousin and he's very ill. He says, and everything that's happening in PulseChain, it just helped me to have a better perspective. When I was done visiting my cousin, my whole perspective about my crypto life was different. And I believe I know that. I mean, if you're ever, guys, here's it. You can play this game in your mind. If you're ever having a hard time with anything and feeling just really down in the mouth, go visit a burn ward. at a hospital. You probably have to go to a big city, but go visit an ICU, an intensive care unit, and you'll see real quickly we've got it pretty good. We got it pretty stinking good. So I start with like, how bad could it get? I could lose my house. I could lose my car. Guess what? I'll go buy another one. Or hey, you're riding a bike, walk, man. How about the exercise? I don't move enough. I'd love walking more, but I love my truck. But the thing of it is, start low. Start like, get rid of everything, move your way up, and then, and that's kind of, and then I get kind of, I get a little too excited, right? But that's just because I'm a human being, and I can be a little bit of a moony kind of a guy, and thinking that everything's going to be wonderful. But I think this is what happens. I think I can set higher expectations or hopes. I can set higher hopes because I know that the worst can always be recovered from. I don't know. Enough rambling. Let's look at Pulse at Pampy.app. And the reason I just had that little conversation is because we're going to talk about moon math. And this Pampy.app, we're not depending on the founder to pump his chain, but he could. Okay. We know he has an ego. Everybody does. His is thick and strong. And he wants to do very well in this bull run. He has SAC money that he could put into his core tickers if he wanted to. This is the amount that they're worth, $281,000. So if he put a fourth of that, $70,000 into Pulse, that would, how many X's would that do to Pulse? 1,840 X's. It'd be a 4-cent Pulse, guys, a 4-cent Pulse. Okay, we know that the greatest currencies are a leverage play on the Pulse network. The last time Pulse went up 4x, pTGC went up 42x. We have been moving up against Pulse since our existence. So, and our whole existence, Pulse has been flatlining. So what's going to happen when Pulse even has a hiccup? Off to the races, right? Well, let's say it does way more than a hiccup, and it goes to the stinking halfway between here and the moon. At 1,841x, that's a fifth of a 10,000x. What would that do to pTGC? Well, we have a calculator here that we can show it. It's lookintoptgc.com. So you'll come here, and I think this might be free. It is. The moon math calculator is free. So we're going to click on pTGC PLS, and let's do this, guys. Let's do this. Let's go to the value of pTGC and WPLS terms. Ooh, WPLS is flying today compared to pTGC. Somebody must have sold a big bag. Yeah. Oh, man. Somebody, this wallet, Charlie62, sold almost $13,000, $12,000 worth of pTGC. So he ain't helping. But hey, everybody's going to take profit along the way. I'm going to. So we look at the chart in WPLS. Let's look at it on the 3-day chart. How many X's are we up against? And I always skip all this initial pump. We are up 111,000%. How many X's is that? Huh. Well, we can just take 11. See that 11 over there on the right? 11. That's the ratio right now, divided by 0.01. Woo! We're up 1,100x against PLS. Let me redo this, guys. Let me redo it. Let me start at the bottom of this one here. Be a little modest. 24. That is, let's see. Hold on, guys. 10.8. 10.8 divided by 0.044. 245. We're 245x up against WPLS, but that's over 18-month period. So we're not going to, we could do it another 245x against Pulse, but I don't speculate that we will. Because again, that's an 18-month time span. This bull market's probably going to be over within 18 months. Could probably maybe be. So let's say, let's tone it down to 10. Let's say that pTGC does 10x against Pulse's, was it 4100x? Okay. 1400, I think it's 1400x. 1840x. Let's say pTGC does a 10x, Pulse does 1840x. Now, this is going to be a huge number, guys. This is going to be 10 times 1840. It's going to be 10,800x. I'm doing it. You guys ready? I mean, just if you don't like it, just cut it down by a half or more. So I'm going to put in an X factor of 10. And then Pulse does an 1840x. We're going big, guys. That would be a $4.90 pTGC. I know, it's crazy. All right, let's tone it down. There's your moon math. Perry got it out of his system. Now let's just do a modest 5x factor. And then let's say Pulse just does a 100x from here. So that's $4.90. And this is going to be 13 cents. So that's a difference 0.13 plus 489 divided by 2. The average of that would be $2.50. So somewhere between 13 cents and what was that, 289? No, 489 per pTGC. You guys think I'm crazy, don't you? I'm sure you do. That's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Who knows what this thing is going to do, guys? We haven't seen anything yet. Pulse has done nothing. It's done nothing. And the whole time, the Grace currency has just been, you know? So, and all those same numbers apply to UFO also. All right. You guys still paying attention? I probably lost you by now. Now let's look at reflections. Ooh, I got to log in. And then the last thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about the locking rewards. My favorite. Oh, my favorite. And I'll revisit. I'll remind you guys what the difference between locking and reflections and staking. Well, let's go ahead and review this. Look into ptgc.com. Do I have it plugged in here? No, I don't. Okay. But it's just look into ptgc.com. You can see the total burned. We burned 12%. We just did that this week. We also went over 14,000 users on Telegram. And you can see some very interesting data here. The price, of course. The volume, right? Like $500,000, man. Compared to last summer, that was a dream to have $500,000 in a day. And now we're doing it. Liquidity, $4.5 million. 1,240 transactions. Probably 20 of those were humans. You guys follow me on that? This is Cirque Supply. 36x to a penny, guys. We were 10x to a penny. 36 right now. Here are the fees collected from that 5% fee, right? $26,000, I'm rounding up. $26,000 distributed to burn, add liquidity. 20% goes to 2% goes to the Dow. pTGC goes to holders, and to stakers. Okay. And then UFO, very similar. Here's your price, volume, liquidity, transactions, 549 transactions compared to what, 1,200? Where was the transactions? Yeah, 1,200. And then we're 616x from a penny. Let's see. And then the total fees collected, $13,769. And here's where it went. 3% to LP providers, 1% to buy and burn UFO, 1% paid to holders, 1% buys and burns pTGC. Okay. Let's go to this reflection calculator. We're going to do both. We're going to do both pTGC and UFO. And what this calculator does, guys, is it will show you at certain volume levels how much you can earn in reflections. And we just put in a test wallet that has, whatever. Usually the wallets are a dolphin or a shark. They're just some wallet that we pull off the blockchain. You can do your own if you have this. Look into ptgc.com app, which if you want, reach out to me or sign up on the website and we can get you a subscription, prescription, whatever it is, for the site. Okay. And so this calculation is going to show you the reflections, not staking and locking, just the reflections for a certain bag size. So let me pull this up. Thanks, Goated Plays. Appreciate you. Let's add to the stage the experimental mode. Reflections analysis. We're going to try a demo wallet, calculate the yields, and we're going to plug in $5 million. I just like $5 million. Part of it's the moon boy in me. Here's the yearly return, 310 million pTGC, or 57%. That's pretty juicy for this guy who's already got 570 million pTGC. So he's a shark. I think that means he has about 2 shark positions with 570 million. I think he has 2 shark positions. And then his yearly yield would be $85,000. $85,000 in reflections. Staking reward is greater than reflections, and locking reward is greater than reflections also. Sorry, I had to think about that for a second. Okay, so this guy's a shark with 570 million pTGC worth today, in today's dollars, $158,000. This is what he would earn daily. 200 at $5 million in volume, he'd earn $235. Monthly, $7,000. Yearly, $86,000. Okay, that's pretty cool. Wait a second. This is a current yields. What is the difference between current yields and theoretical yields? Oh, I do not know, guys. I'm going to have to ask. Let's bounce off of that and go to UFO. We're going to do the same thing. Current balance, 572 million UFO. We're going to set the volume to, it just defaults to 5 million. And then his annual return would be almost 3 billion UFO. Wow. Are you serious? At $5 million in volume? 3 billion? Yeah, I guess so, because 527%. Wow. Sea Creature League. He's a dolphin. 500 and... This can't be right. This can't be right. How could you earn 2.9 billion UFO when you only have 572? Well, I guess because the APY is 498%. Wow. APY is calculated using current balance as the base. Shows you current yield rate based on your present holdings. Okay, formula is daily yield divided by current balance times 365 times 100. Okay. All right. Well, I guess it is. I'm not complaining. I'm just giving a little bit of pushback, I guess. So if you were a shark with 930 million UFO and your daily theoretical values at $5 million in volume would be $200. Not bad, eh? Not bad. Not bad at all. Let's talk about the locking calculator. Now remember, there's a difference between reflections and staking and locking rewards. Reflections and staking come to you based on the price of the token today. Locking rewards come to you based on the number of tokens unlocked, regardless of price. Reflections and staking are based on the contract executing. It's completely independent of human interaction, pretty much. And the locking rewards are 100% pretty much dependent on human interaction. So, and I love this calculator. We have that 1 million pTGC lock that I've got has given us some data that every month on average, there's 395 million pTGC unlocked. And that's a very interesting number that we did. we worked on, and we figured out that we basically built a little calculator that can show you, if you input your pTGC holdings into, it'll show you how much you could earn at different price levels. So it's really cool to have that number, because we were like, how much is being unlocked? Well, let's figure it out. And we did, and we got the average. I'm like, okay, now we can sort of forecast how much we could earn in unlocking penalties. Hot dog, let's do it. So Mr. Kong, Crypto Kong, built it into his lookintoptgc.com site. Thank you, Mr. Kong, ever so much. So this, let's just do from top to bottom, left to right. This is the total pTGC that's locked. And you can see that if you go to PulseTGC.com and click on stats. And it might be different, just a little bit different. Let's do a little fact checking right now. Staked and locked is in the green. Well, let's see, that's 131 billion. Is that 131? Probably 131 billion. Ooh, it changed a lot. So let's change this to 131. The simulated unlock amount, I mean, one of those numbers is right. It's either 139 or 131. Simulated unlock amount is 395. That's the average per month. And this month we're averaging 700 some odd million unlocked. So almost a billion. Your locked pTGC. This is where you would enter your locked pTGC. So just enter, like, let's say you have 100 million pTGC. That's a pretty juicy bag. So you got 100 million. Let's say the future price is, let's go big. Let's go 25 cents. So the price is 25%. But let's say, you know, you didn't do all 10-year locks, but you've got about 95% of your pTGC. Okay, we're back. So let's say price goes up to 25 cents. That was probably on the internet. And you're at, like, of all your pTGC is 95% locked in 100% locks. And you can figure that out just by putting all of it in a ChatGPT. It'll tell you, hey, you're earning 95 whatever percent of the rewards that you could possibly earn. Okay, so what would that mean? If 395 million pTGC is unlocked in this month. You have 100 million locked in, like, let's just say 9-year locks or 8-year locks, I think it would be. The price is now 25 cents. These people that are early end locking are paying the 30% penalty, which goes to all the other lockers. Regardless of price, it's coming to you in the number of tokens. What would those tokens be worth? Scroll down and see. $21,421. $21,000. That's good, guys. I don't know if there's anybody in the world that would scoff at $21,000 coming in yield in a month. Granted, we are in crypto, so we can tend to want more. But $21,000 for 100 million pTGC bag locked in 9-year locks. Yeah, that'll talk. That will talk. All right. I think that's it, guys. Hour and 26 minutes. It's Wednesday afternoon. Beautiful and sunny outside. I suggest everybody go out and get a walk. Go take a walk. Go get outside. What are we doing let's end on a good note, guys. We started on a good note. We're going to end on one too. Bitcoin is still up 7.6%. Ethereum is up 13%. Pulse is up 8%. PulseX, 10%. Okay, pTGC is down 0.28%. Wah. We'll be picking back up, guys. UFO is up 2%. Hex is up 14%. Hex, the other Hex, eHex is up 12%. Inc is up 10%. Guys, whenever Pulse is moving, we're going to move. It's pretty simple. So I think that's a wrap, guys. I'm going to go figure out how to get this logo thing fixed. That's so funny. And Zen will be having a voice chat. Somebody calling me. He'll be having a voice chat tomorrow at 9 a.m. I think it's actually 8 a.m. I'm getting so mixed up. And then we'll have spaces again on Saturday at 7 a.m. Pacific. All right, guys. Keep it positive. Go out there and bring some people into the Grays Eco. Dollar cost average in. Throw in a carry on if you can do it. Let's get ready for this bull run. All right, guys. Have a great week. Bye. And I thank you, Romeo.